Otto, your story, your style. All right. Sit back, buckle up. It's time for another wonderful story. Some stories you get in the form of books, some stories you get in the form of canvases, and some stories you get in the form of picture perfect frames. You know what? Today on the show, let's talk about life. Let's talk a bit about love. How do we define life? And they say life is a canvas and you are the artist. Now go and express your art. There's one little philosophy in life that I completely believe in, that every artist creates one masterpiece in his life. But what if I tell you that my guest today, every art he has created is a masterpiece. Every picture that he has framed looks perfect. Well, of course, you know I'm talking about one of India's most renowned photographers, very stylish, very successful, very charming, and he's got a story that he'd love to share. With me is Mr. Amar Ramesh. Vanakkam and welcome. How are you, sir?
Vanakkam. Thank you so much. Thanks for the wonderful introduction.
I have been preparing for this for a long time, waiting when will I get the date of Mr. Amar Ramesh. You know, first of all, I don't have to ask you how are you, because I know with a camera in your hand and somewhere around you're always happy and you're doing well. Photography, Mr. Amar Ramesh, is your profession, it's your passion, and you also found it to be a purpose. Talk to me about the involvement or the role of a camera in your life, and what is the driving purpose with every frame, every shoot. You have a purpose, you have a story you want to tell the world.
So, first of all, thank you so much. Thanks. It's an honor to be here. Camera in my life came very, very late. I was never, I was never close to a camera. Camera or photography was never in my life or in my radar. I always grew up wanting to be an engineer. Studied well for that. Did really well for that, and then took up engineering in my undergrad, and then as soon as I did my engineering, I went to US to do my masters. All those days I was only thinking, I was born to be a computer engineer. I wanted to be in computers, I wanted to be programming and all that. And even after that, I immediately found a job. I was in my job. I was working for almost 7-8 years. So suddenly, camera came into my life. Because I was traveling so much in US, I wanted to explore and I wanted to document things. So I thought I'll buy a camera, and that is when I bought a camera. And even when I bought a camera, I never thought photography is I never knew photography is a profession, to be honest. So this camera just came into me, and then somehow I fell in love with it. Somehow I got super passionate about it. More than passion, it was an obsession for me. I got super obsessed with it. Somewhere the science, the art of it, and then the people reacting to it. All this combination of things really, really excited me. And then even after that excitement, I didn't know I'm going to take this as a profession. I was just doing for the love of it, right? So when the love was becoming an obsession, parallelly it was also becoming expensive, right? So I had to feed this obsession with money, and so I said, okay, let me go out and do some like apprentice, and I help people, carrying lights, bags and all that. $25, $30, $50, $60, and I would tell my friends, hey, I would shoot your family pictures. You don't have to pay me. You can buy me some a cheaper tripod or a light or something like that. That is how it started. And even then, I didn't know I was taking this as a profession. Right? Parallelly, my thought of coming back to India, parallelly I wanted to do something in India, and see, all this was happening. And parallelly, I also wanted to do MBA. So I started studying for GMAT and preparing for GMAT, and I also wrote GMAT. So like I said, even at that moment when I was preparing for GMAT and writing GMAT, I didn't know I would take this as a profession. And suddenly, it hit me that my manager was in the same office doing the same thing. Everything is same. He's doing exactly the same things, but he's in a better cabin than me. he might be 10%, 20% earning more than me. Do I want to do this in my life? That kind of struck me, and I said, okay, I don't think I should do this. I wanted my life to be exciting, to be very nomadic, to be spontaneous, and to be surprising, right? Like, so I said, okay, maybe I can take this up. So let me take this up and see for a year and see how it works. And then I picked it up, and then I came here. I started as something else. I wanted to be a travel photographer. I wanted to shoot temples and all that. And then the universe put me as a wedding photographer, a popular wedding photographer. So looking back now after 15 years, why me, right? Why was I chosen? It was as if universe had everything aligned for me at the right time, right moment. And then that is when the wedding photography was very nascent and it was just coming up, and I was at the right time. And then Facebook was coming in, then Instagram came in. So why me, right? Like, so there is a purpose, there is a reason behind it. So I use photography to, package. I package our culture, package our heritage, to show our heritage in a very, very different way to the world. Like it should be shown like that. It deserves to be shown like that. And that is what is my purpose, I feel.
And it's so sad people believe that culture and tradition can be boring. History is very, very old. You are bringing it back and making it appeal to the youth. And I don't see this time too far away where every home, every commercial place will have one Amar Ramesh frame to say that this is where we hail from, or this is our culture and tradition. I see that coming pretty soon.
No, see, that is not my goal, but my goal is to start a conversation. It could be my picture or it could be anybody's picture, but a conversation should be started. And I see it's happening already. Like, people are bored about the Western stories now. The entire world is turning towards Eastern stories. And we have some amazing stories, right? Like, we are storytellers. We are a culture of storytellers. So we have some great stories, and I'm sure all of that is going to come out. And just imagine a big group of people went to US in 1980s and 1990s. All their kids are now in a stage where they're in a finished college. They're in a place where they are getting into jobs, and then they'll get bored of the thing, and then they'll come back in search of the roots. And even our people, right? Like, we are now going in the direction of wanting to search our roots and wanting to do something with our roots. So I think that it has started already. See, the core of my work is to keep things ready for people who have excelled in technology to come do something, right? Imagine a book on 𝒀𝒚𝒂𝒓 or the science of 𝒀𝒚𝒂𝒓 being documented. Once it's ready, who has studied AI, who has studied the technology, he can come. He doesn't have to go to the village and get to know the science, because it's going to be tough. In fact, AI is going to solve a lot of things for the past, right? Like for the cultural things. Just imagine, like, we have so many temple murals, it's all destroyed and it's all going away, right? What if we build an AI system where you take that and then finish the rest of it, and then keep documenting all the stories? It'll be amazing.
It fascinates me that a lot of people say that photography is to be learned, and you are an unlearned photographer. Did you go to a school to learn photography, or was it that click and I can do better and you learn by yourself? How important is formal education and how important is on-ground experience?
See, if you think about any art form, right? Like, what is the easiest art form existing now to pick up? What do you
Photography,
think?
because it's on our phone.
Yeah. It's the easiest art form, right? Everybody, if you think about you want to pick up an hobby, it's the easiest hobby that you can pick up. Do you need a formal education for photography? I don't believe in it. I don't believe you need formal education for anything unless and until you're a doctor or a lawyer. There are 4.5 lakh visual communication students coming out every year. And if you go ask them who are your 5 best photographers, right? They'll only say people who are popular on Instagram. They'll talk about influencers and not Instagram, not amazing photographers. Like, I think the schools are going in the opposite direction of what it should do, right? Imagine a kid coming out of school, or you and me coming out of school. We were like waiting to come out of the school. After this I don't have to study anything.
Now life will start because school is over.
But school is not supposed to do that. It should make you want to learn things, want to study more, right? That is what school is supposed to do. It has made you hate a subject, like you hate math or you hate science or you hate thing, but it should do the other thing. It should make you fall in love with these subjects.
Correct. Create the curiosity to learn.
Right? The school system or the education system has killed this art of learning. But then after becoming a photographer, somebody is saying, hey, okay, now I am a photographer, I don't have to learn anything. That is where the problem is. So I still consider, after 14 years now, I've come into the college, right? I'm just come out of the high school and gone into the college. That's how I see
still
myself.
To learn, still to grow, and
so
still
much
to master.
So much to learn, right? So that is what people are missing, and when that happens, right, automatically they just disappear.
At your office in Chennai, you have a little learning spot. You call it a library, but any enthusiast, anyone from any part of the world is welcome to come into that spot free, see some books which is all about educating people about the real science and art of photography. Why did you do that? And what I'm hearing, is that right?
Yeah, you're right. It's called Evolve Library, and anybody can come sit, go through the photography books. We have around 800 photography books there. Books only related to photography. If I go ask somebody, like, who are your favorite photographers, who are your master photographers, they don't know. I tell this every time. You just come, open some books, just browse through these pictures. You'll be a better photographer in half an hour, right? Just by going through these pictures. You don't even have to read them. So I wanted to fix the place where they are getting in the inspiration from.
Why should I flip a book when I have the man in front of me? So I'm going to ask you a very, very important question, sir. If I was to take a good picture, imagine people listening to you and watching you now. They're like, okay, give me few tips that I can take a great picture. It could be a cup, it could be a person, it could be nature. What are few things that a good photographer should do or a good photo must have? Be it the lighting, be it the frame. Give me a few tips on do this and your picture will be better. Tell me that.
I would say go take a picture every day.
Okay.
Right? Come back after 365 days and then we'll talk. Right? This will, and tell yourself you're going to do a little better than yesterday. So I always say your first 1 lakh pictures are crap. Right? The faster you accumulate this crap and push that out, then you start doing the actual work.
Wow. So the more you do it, the more you get better. And once you reach that stage, then you master it. You've traveled to the most interesting places. Take me through that journey. Which are the places that you wish were a part of our history books? You wish these were the places students went to for excursions, because what you saw there was amazing. Take us through that.
The way I see it is, wherever I am today is my favorite place, right? And I always felt this very, very strongly, that when I start complimenting about a place, the place shows all the best things to me. And for me as a photographer, all I have to do is just click. When the best places, best things, best light, best things come up, right? All I have to do is just click and get it done, right? And that's how I get my images, get my pictures. So when you keep complaining, when you put a negative connotation to the place, right? Oh, it's so hot, it's so dirty, it's so crowded. So all the things, if you keep telling to the universe, and the universe only shows all the bad things, right? And then as a photographer, you don't want the bad things, you want beautiful things. So for me, wherever I am on that day, on a particular day, is my favorite place. Today's Chennai is my favorite place. I feel one of the warmest people you will ever come across are the people from the South, Tamil Nadu. Like, if you go to restaurants there, people feed you like their own family members, right? Like I have never had that kind of experience consistently over and over. and there are some amazingly beautiful landscapes. Like Tirunelveli has some beautiful landscapes.
Tell me a few fascinating facts that you came across which our books don't have, so but you got to know.
No, see, imagine all the Gopurams of Tamil Nadu, right? Like how many Gopurams we have. It's just, if you go to Kumbakonam, you just walk 10 meters, you see a big Gopuram, and then walk 10 meters this side, you see a big Gopuram. So there are so many Gopurams. All these were built like in just 150 to 200 years, right? Between all these multiple Gopurams, and some of them have disappeared. And if you think about it, from a management perspective, from an operational perspective, just imagine how the funds would have been allocated, how resources would have been allocated, how the design team would have gone, how the architectural team. Just imagine, it's just mind-blowing. Like parallelly multiple projects would have happened. So if you
without the use of technology and software, it is all man and effort.
And his devotion, right? So if you tell your team member to design ours, what comes out of that after 10 layers of delegation is not ours, it's some other animal, right? but imagine the Raja or the king would have said, hey, build a temple, build a mandapam, right? But if you go there and see the statues there, the oars would have been embellished, the tails would be having some jewels in it, the neck would have had something. So the horse has gone from horse to 10 level better than the horse, right? How did they do that? How did the delegation happen? How did the passion from the king get transferred to the last step, last sculptor? That is very fascinating for me. And unfortunately, what we have all become is, go to a temple, go to the main sanctum, worship there and come off. But there are so many energies around the temple, and in fact you're supposed to go around the temple and then go to the main sanctum. And there are so many stories and so many amazing sculptures around the temple. You just don't have time, or you don't slow down to enjoy those things. That is what is always going on in my mind when I go to all these temples. And you can easily spend 4-5 hours just walking around and then end up in the sanctum, right? And that experience itself is very, very. So it's almost the entire temple is built to make you prepare to go to the central sanctum, right? But we miss that.
Tell me the 3 prettiest temples that you have seen, and that architecture, the feel, the vibe actually fascinated you. I know your answer. Say over temple ka over. It's 3 that you want to visit. Imagine I can tell you, Amar Ramesh, I'm a superman. I have a superpower. I'll take you to 3 temples. Which are the 3 spots you can go to? Don't be greedy. Choose 3.
Tell me the number of temples that we have in Tamil Nadu that are 1,000 years and more.
How many temples are there? 1,000? 500? 2,000?
No, we don't have the number. It should be more than like 30 to 35,000 temples. How do you ask me to select 3? It's so tough. See, just imagine Tiruchi, right? Everybody goes to Srirangam temple, but this Tiruvanaikkaval temple next to that Srirangam is so huge, so big. It's just amazing that the size of the temple, the size of the mandapam. So it's just very, very tough. Very, very tough.
When did you see a picture of yours in public domain and say like, wow, look, my work is reaching people? Where was that? Was it the Chennai airport? Where was it?
See, I came back from US wanting to shoot temples.
Correct.
Right? I started shooting temples, but for the first 5-6 months nothing was happening. I was not going anywhere. And then 2 things happened parallelly. One, Hilton Chennai called and said, we want to put your pictures on the walls. And then a bride came and asked if I can shoot a wedding. Right? So both of them happened parallelly. And I fell in love with the wedding photography. I continued doing it. Right? But right from then, I've had many like restaurants, resorts, hospitals, airports and all that, asking for pictures and putting them on the wall. See, more than being a project, more than having a pride that my pictures are on the walls of these public places, for me the the highlight is, these pictures are going to start a conversation, right? Just imagine a picture of terracotta artist in an Amsterdam restaurant. The people who are coming there will be talking about it, will be thinking about it, will be saying, what is this art form, right? And this terracotta has existed for more than 2000 years here, and very hardly anybody know about it, right? So now I've done something where some conversation has started. Maybe that person is a designer, maybe he wants to do something for the outfit of the terracotta artist, or maybe he's a carpenter, he wants to do something for the turban of the terracotta artist. Maybe something will happen, right? So to give you an example, one of my books, 𝒂𝒂𝒓, got released 2 years back, right? And more than the money that I made through the book, more than the projects that I got through the book, the biggest achievement that book has done for me is I was invited to a architectural college, and I didn't know. I just went there wanting to see what they've done. The entire village study for the second years, the entire class of 84 students, I've taken 𝒂𝒂𝒓 as the inspiration and then done an entire show of drawings and drawings and drawings from the 𝒂𝒂𝒓 book.
Wow.
So that is.
You didn't think your book will inspire a village.
So that is what fascinates me. That gives me more happiness than my picture, seeing my picture hanging in some place and all that.
It's more meaningful that way. Which was the shoe that you earned? So you're like, I can't believe I got this paycheck. Because when you work in dollars in America, that's all right. But when you fulfill a passion of yours and you get a paycheck for that, it has a different meaning. So which was that shoot? You're like, whoa, I'm worth so much.
I've never had a feeling like that I've got so much, and I in fact work in a way that my clients always come back and say, hey, for the work that you've done, actually you're cheaper. I thought you're expensive, but for the work that you've done, you're actually cheap. So thank you so much. So that is the way I want to work. If I'm getting paid 5 lakhs, let's say, I want to give a product or
value should be even more.
Should be like at least 15-20 lakhs. That is what I work for. Wow. And every time, every project, the client comes and negotiates with you, right? And then, but by the time that you finish your project, the client is actually coming and telling you, hey, you're actually is cheaper for the work that you've done, and or the client is giving two, 3 more projects to you, and you make more money from them. So that is how I see. Slowly we are losing this. People are seeing clients as, okay, there's an opportunity, I'm making money, okay, let me finish off the work, finish off quickly. And if they come with 2-3 changes, or if they come with some things, right, they get upset, they get irritated, they don't want to do it, or they overcommit to many clients and they don't do their jobs, right? So how many clients keep a relationship with you after the project is done, right? I went to US last month, and then I had dinner with my first couple that I shot 15 years ago.
Oh wow!
Right. So my clients are my friends, and I don't see them as a way to make money. I see them as a way
to build a bond. I want to ask you, Mr. Amar Ramesh, is technology a friend or a foe for a photographer?
I'll give you this example. Like when you go to these clubs and when you go to these cosmopolitan clubs or Gymkhana clubs and the Madras clubs, you see all these old portraits, or the Chettinad houses. You see all these old portraits, like beautiful portraits. Very like there's so much depth. There's very nice posing. The details you see. You'll see a group shot where 200 people are there, and yet you can see all their faces and everything, right? Even I've noticed this in the palaces of Rajasthan and all. You'll see a portrait in 1800s, nicely painted, nicely done. Then 1850, nicely done. Then 1860s and 70s, where it's partially photographed, partially painting, and then you have this amazing portraits of the kings, and then come down to 1960, 1970, the quality just drops, and then you see the pictures of now Rajas and princes and all that. It's horrible. You'll be like, oh, the king didn't have money to afford a good photographer. That's how you think.
Why this dip?
The guy who shot a group photo in 1940s and 50s, he was a craftsman. He not only had a mastery in a skill of photography, he had mastery or control over people. He could order them, he could tell them, make sure everybody looks at them. He had complete control. He was a craftsman. So what technology has done is taken that craftsman away from the craft and made it so easy that anybody could be a skilled operator, and then anybody can shoot it. So now you're like, it has gone so deep that now you, as a client, you're not thinking you want a craftsman or you want a skilled operator. You're just saying, hey, I want a photographer. Anybody can shoot, right? So that is the problem. So in 1998 and all, there was 𝑦2K, right? After that 𝑦2K, there was this C#, Java, right? And then after that it was something else. And then now we have this AI, right? So everywhere this AI word is used so loosely. Everybody's thinking AI is coming, oh, photography is gone. See, nothing will be gone. Like even IT will not be gone. You just have to say, okay, there is something has come up. I'll learn it. I'll get into it. I'll see what it is, right? All you have to do is get into it and see what can you do with it. What are the things that you are doing which this is going to replace? What are the things that you are not, like you've been doing that this thing cannot replace, right? See, there are so many things AI can replace from my job, and I love it that it's replacing all that. So it's going to become easier for me, right? There's so many things that it cannot replace at all for the rest of life, or for the rest of
when people
my integrity, my discipline, my punctuality, my relationship with the client, all that, my control over the art form, all that AI cannot do anything about.
Let me play devil's advocate, sir. I think AI cannot fall sick. AI will not travel. AI will not take a holiday. AI will process fast. So your speed may be differing because of your personal situation, but AI is going to be very fast.
But
AI you pay and it will serve you on a membership, monthly membership. It's loyal to everybody. So do you think integrity, timing, punctuality are core values of a good human being, but AI cannot do that? Are you sure?
No, see, let's take cameras for example, right? You're in this room, you're seeing the entire room, right? And there is this light which is very bright, and there are areas where there's no light at all, but your eyes is adjusting for everything, right? You can see the carpet where there is no light. You're seeing the light where there is heavy light. Cameras cannot do it now. Yes, cameras have gone million times better than what it was when it was invented, but it has to go million times better to match to our eyes, right? If you're sad, the place is different. If you're happy, the place is different. Yeah, AI can do it one day, but it's not there yet. It is going to take a long time for it, right? Similarly, everything that AI replaces now, I have 1,000 things that it cannot replace for me, right? The point is for you to get into it and understand what all it can replace, right? Without that, but what people are doing or you are doing is you're staying away and saying AI is going to replace me, AI is going to replace me. My point is just get into it, see what all it can, just learn a few things.
So it's safe to say that AI will not bother a creative person's work, will not replace a creative person's work.
No, it's safe to say that get into it, learn what it is, then see what it can replace, then what it cannot replace. So you buy a new camera not because it is new, not because it is because you have to learn what your camera can do that the new camera cannot do, and then go get it, right? But the problem here is that inefficiency or that lackness of, hey, I want to learn what it is, right? I just want to go by, hey, okay, Amar Ramesh tells this is a good camera, okay, I'll buy that camera. No, you cannot do that.
And is there any celebrity that you're waiting to shoot? Because celebrities wait to shoot with you. Is there someone that you are waiting to shoot with?
Hey, I have a long list of people.
Choose three, we'll make it come true.
I want to shoot A.R. Rahman because I love his songs. I'm a big fan of him. I want to shoot all the political leaders and IPS officers. I want to shoot them because they don't have good portraits. It's a shame that they're all doing some amazing work, but they don't have good portraits. I want to do that, and I want to shoot a lot of the security guards, right? I want to shoot a lot of these immigration workers and security guards, but because I'm fascinated with them. They leave their family homes and then they guard our homes. They don't have a house, they don't have a room, they just sleep in the parking lots. They don't even have security rooms. We build so many buildings, but hardly any realtor says, okay, I'll build a security house room or a quarters for them, right? So I want to tell a lot of stories about them. I want to tell a lot of stories about people who have left our country and then gone and are staying in Malaysia, Singapore, US, UK, because I've lived there for 10 years and I know how it is. Many times you're just this hollow person. You're mentally in your hometown, but physically in a different town. So I want to tell those stories.
Superb. Is there a celebrity shoot that you cherish very much? You've shot so many. Who's the one person you shot with and those are great memories?
For me, I think immediately if somebody comes to my mind is 𝒂𝒎💏. I just enjoyed shooting him. And
what was your interaction like?
It was so nice. He liked the interaction so much that he came back for another shoot. So I did 2 or 3 times. I shot him through 2 or 3 times. Every time he loved it, and I loved interacting with him. He was almost like a child. He was like a kid, and he's also a lover of photography. So he had lots of things to talk about photography.
Someone told me that Mr. Amar Ramesh can sing very well.
No.
Someone told me. Prove me wrong then. Sing, we'll see whether it's good or bad.
I'm not doing that.
Thank you, Mr. Amar Ramesh. Every question was answered from the heart. Your pictures speak 1,000 words and your words that you spoke speak a lot more. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you on Your Story, Your Style by Otto. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a wonderful experience.